Alright, so today we're working on a 99 Tacoma. This one, we're replacing the back leaf springs. Kind of see on the leaf spring right here how it bends up and in towards the truck instead of, giving the truck the support it needs. Normally this wouldn't be a huge issue, but it has started to break his back shocks. So, if you come around to this side, you can see that this leaf spring is doing the exact same thing. But it is also snapping his shocks off. So this shock is completely not even attached to the truck anymore. Alright, so we got the tire off. It is a 21mm bolt for these to get the lug nuts off of the tire. And then I put the tire underneath the axle right there, just so if anything does happen with the truck, the axle won't drop or damage the drum or anything like that. And then I have a jack underneath the back part of the frame, another jack here, and then just put the center block under there for fun. Just because if the car ever does fall, it could cause a lot of damage to the car as well as yourself. So having a few points of contact underneath the truck would be beneficial to everybody. Anyway, the nuts underneath this are 19mm. Same with this guy right here and the one on the back. And then right now this is pretty stuck just because the truck has probably never, had this bolt taken off, and so sometimes they fuse together. So what I'm going to try right now is I have the jack underneath the end of this wrench, and so I'm going to just jack up the jack and see if I can get it to spin a little bit. So on the frame end of the leaf spring, the bolt is actually seized inside of the leaf spring, so I had to cut right here on both sides to get rid of the bolt. So the inside of the bolt is still inside the spring. I just used to drill with a cutoff blade. It was about 1 charge per side, here and here. You can see right here where I had to cut off the bolt, so the bolt is still inside of the leaf spring, and I had to chop it off on both sides with that little cutter bit on my drill. It's pain. Rust sucks. If the nut ever gets stuck inside of this, your little ratchet head, the easiest way to get it out is just stick it right back on the bolt where it came from, hit it out, and then it unscrews, just like that. So this is the rear shackle right here, and on the rear shackle there's a 19mm bolt on this end. It's actually coming off pretty easy, probably because there's a lock nut. Lock washer on this side. So once you get this 19mm nut off, there's one up here as well, 19mm, and then this little bracket just kind of pops away and lets the leaf spring slide out. So this is the rear shackle right here, and the rear shackle is normally supposed to just slide out, but this one, just like the front of the leaf spring, is seized inside. So no matter how I turn this thing, it's just stuck. You can see that there's a metal ring inside, in between the rubber, and that is just fused together with the bolt. And I've looked around, on a couple different internet forums, and really the only way to get this apart is just either cutting it with a plasma torch, or if you're a poor college student, grab a drill and a cutting tool, just kind of hack away at it. So once I got that cut off, the head of it is still fused inside, and so what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking a drill to it and just drilling out the same size hole that it would have been if this bolt wasn't retarded. There we go. Got the bolt in there. I'll put a washer on the other side, and that is how you resurrect your old stuck shackles. Now that that's in, I'll be able to put them back in with the leaf spring and get everything undone. I also I unclipped this brake line from the brake so I could lift the leaf spring up and out of this. So this little stopper was on top of the old leaf spring. I'm just going to take it and plop it on top of the new leaf spring after I kind of clean it out a little bit. So when you're putting the new hardware into the shackles, make sure that you grease it up just a little bit on the inside. This keeps it from binding with the new leaf springs. Basically, this is just being nice to the next guy who needs to take apart your rig. As a side note, make sure to, when you put this in your toolbox, that the lid is not upside down on a hot day. Okay, so I got the new bolt washer, and then I got a locking washer, and then the other nut on the other side. And this right here, there's a little nub on the bottom of this that fits inside this little hole. So when I align everything again, I gotta make sure that hole goes into place. But I'm gonna put the back shackle on first, so I'll know exactly where to put the axle when I load that back on. Also, as you raise the axle up into place, the little hole will also shift this direction as well. Alright, so as far as putting everything on, when I first started, I left the nut out here just so I could position everything while it was still loose. And then I came here and attached the U-bolts again, tightened them all evenly around the edge, you know, doing a turn here, turn here, turn here, turn there, until they're all tight. Reattach the shock. I'll link another video right here. This video shows how to remove and install the rear shocks on a Toyota Tacoma. So go ahead and click that if you want to watch it. And you can see I put the stopper back into place and pinch that down with the U-bolts. So now that everything is tight and torqued back down, I can go ahead and throw the tire back on, and that is it. I'll put a link in the video description for the leaf springs. On Amazon, they're pretty cheap. I'll try to find some hardware as well. And then as far as the rear shackle goes back there, you know, if you have the time to wait for a rear shackle, go ahead and buy one of those. If not, the way I showed you how to resurrect the things works just fine as well. This side that I'm done with is 1 inch taller than the other side, so the other shocks were worn down to the point where it has 1 inch of sag in it compared to brand new shocks and leaf springs. To get to the driver's side back leaf spring, you need to take down the back tire, the spare, and so you take the hardware that you get from the where you drop the tire down, and you stick it through that little hole in the top of the license plate right above the bumper, and you stick it in, and then you just ratchet down the tire. That's where that connects, and that'll give you room to work with the bolts on the other side of this thing. Anyway, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.